What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here, taking a look at Swift Ursaluna in the Master League. My goal with this team was to build a completely non-legendary team that people could run. I know Master League can be very expensive, and a lot of these non-legendaries are very highly ranked now, so decided to go ahead and pair them together, give it a shot, and I did end up reaching my season high of 2475. Didn't quite push into veteran, but that's perfectly fine. That was high enough that I would be on the leaderboard if I was actually veteran. For those that don't know, you have to be veteran before you can appear on the leaderboard, but once people hit veteran, they can fall below the 2500 mark, and I was above some of them. So I was happy with that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about how I felt about these individual Pokemon as this video goes, but let's go ahead and jump on into some of these battles. Leave a like, leave a comment down below. Alright, Dragonite into Yveltal. This is a pretty neutral lead. Dragonite is going to lose in the 1s, but we can win the 2s here and not take a ton of damage, like still have some significant health left on my Dragonite. Dragonite is my only real answer for Kyogre, so if I can keep it healthy, I definitely want to. And I don't really want Rhyperior on this. Yes, we have Rock Wrecker, which would absolutely destroy Yveltal, but you have to land it, otherwise the Mud Slaps are just double resisted. Counts for Yveltal are 8 to the first and then 7 to the second, so we are going to get this second Dragon Claw off just before they reach their second charge move. They're going to be coming out with Zacian, and I'm going to be swapping out into Ursaluna. Ursaluna going to be able to tank any one move here. They did do 5 snarls, so I'm expecting this to be a play rough, which it is. So no close combat. Either way, they would need 2 moves to KO. We know Wild Charge will be the second move now, so no real reason to fear it if they throw early. Going to be able to bait with the Swift, grab a shield, and then get another Swift off. So this is actually really nice. Prior to this, Ursaluna only had Ice Punch as its bait move, and Ice Punch is 5 more energy, which is 2 more tackles, so you make it there a full second earlier. And Swift, of course, is actually Stab, so that is actually pretty nice. However, not so nice when you see the flyers, and we'll get into that. Alright, going to be coming in now with my Rhyperior. In the back, they have their own Rhyperior. I go ahead and get the Breaking Swipe off, and then I swap into my Dragonite. I did not expect them to throw immediately, but since they did, I know it's only a Breaking Swipe and that I will survive it, and we're going to be able to get this Dragon Claw off. This is a bit of a misplay because I actually would have survived that next Mud Slap. I could have got the Superpower off, but it really just doesn't matter. Nothing that they throw right here is going to one-shot, unless, I don't know, maybe they could be running Surf. Most are not going to be running Surf, so I go ahead and no-shield it. I should be able to just Mud Slap down. Going to shield up the potential play rough right here, and that's going to be GG's. It's actually going to be a Wild Charge anyways, so that would not have KO'd. Alright, so GG's well played to my opponent. Into the next one, Dragonite into Tapu Bulu. Dragonite is not a good lead currently. There is so many fairy types in the lead. So many fairy types just in general. And I know Dragonite double steal is normally the team comp, and then you'd have some better fairy counters. But what steel types are you going to run? I mean, yes, we do have Necrozma. That could be a steel type, and I have one. That's a legendary, or it's not, right? Mythical? I think it's mythical. I don't know. Maybe it's legendary. Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. Whenever I searched no legendaries, it still came up. So that's the only reason I'm a little bit confused by it. Anyways, yes, there is that. Outside of that, like, we have Melmetal. Melmetal is not really good. We have Metagross, which is just not really good currently. So there's not a lot of options. That's the reason I went with the double ground instead. These ground types are able to handle fairies fairly well, with the exception of things like Tapu Bulu. Now, this was the one where I was able to actually fight back against Tapu Bulu because my opponent does go down 2 shields. I was able to call Breaking Swipe on my Dragonite, and we're able to pull that second shield. Now I have a ton of energy. Tapu Bulu doesn't have any energy, so I'm going to be able to overfarm here. Out comes Yveltal. We're going to be able to get this Rock Wrecker off on good timing. Rock Wrecker coming through. Does a nasty amount of damage. They tried to catch the Breaking Swipe, but we are going to throw the next Rock Wrecker into this Tapu Bulu. Nearly takes them out. We're going to be able to get the Mud Slap down, and at this point we can just trust in Dragonite to clean up this Yveltal, since Dragon Breath is more oppressive than the Sucker Punches. So that's going to be GG's well played. I saw a lot of Tapu Bulus. I saw a lot, and it is a core breaker for this team. If you're seeing similar, this team might not be it. I'm just being honest. Probably 70% of the leads I saw were fairies. So maybe Dragonite's not the lead. Maybe Dragonite's not the lead. It's kind of tough to say, like, what is the lead then? I'm going to go ahead and just pull up a list of non-legendaries on my phone as I'm talking about this battle. This one's going to be the one Primarina that's actually running Charm out there. And then we're going to be able to lure out a Zacian here. Going for the high horsepower, we were able to pull a shield with Swift. So the Swift being a bait move does actually feel good until you start seeing the flyers, which you're going to see. We're going to end up seeing a lot of Yveltals swap into my Ursaluna. Anyway, Zacian, we're going to go ahead and let that come out. We're expecting this to be triple fairy, so I'm hoping that Rhyperior up shields can actually do something. We're going to go ahead and go for the catch here. I know they're probably running Wild Charge. I did go for the catch when it was just close combat, but we know our Dragonite's pretty worthless, so I'm fine with eating the play rough there. Alright, in the back, actually going to be Yveltal. Wish I would have gone Superpower here. I could have overfarmed by a little bit to get more Dragon Breath damage and then gone Superpower. Maybe I would have been able to put them into Breaking Swipe range, but actually, I've looked that up. It only does like 20%, so they'd have to be in the red, and they wouldn't be in the red. So we do end up no-shielding the Dark Pulse there, knowing that the Primarina can potentially get to a Hydro Cannon. Gonna go for the Rock Wrecker. It does connect, and now I'm hoping if I can get the debuff with this Breaking Swipe, I should be able to survive enough charms to make it to another Breaking Swipe and then get it off and win the game. But we don't get that debuff, so that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. All right, I said I was going to look up what would be a better non-legendary lead for this team. All right, so Ho-Oh lead. On paper, you would think it's good for Dragonite. It's actually not, because they do survive the Dragon Claw and they're able to get to 2 moves, especially if they get the Sacred Fire debuff, which they're going to be throwing right here. I always shield. Like, you could try to call it. It still does a ton of damage. So we end up shielding it up. I'm going to get this Dragon Claw off to pull a shield, and I'm going to end up catching on my Ursaluna. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through this here. Like, you could run Gyarados, which at least has Aqua Tail to hit the fairies back. I don't know if that's really better though, right? Non-stab Dragon Breaths for the neutral situations just feel worse. So here's the first flyer. Wish we had Ice Punch, of course. I was thinking about Avalugg. It would make you triple weak to fighting, but no one's really running fighting. I think Avalugg could have some play. You just have to watch out for like close combat. So maybe Avalugg. I actually am trying a similar team out with some legendaries, with not the Hisuian Avalugg because I don't have it, but the regular Avalugg. So if there's another video upload for Master League, you'll know that it actually worked. All right, back to the battles. Ho-Oh tries to catch. We're not going to allow that. We have back-to-back Rock Wreckers ready to go. Lugia's almost had another Aero Blast. It is resisted, but it would do a ton of damage. So we're going to go ahead and throw these Rock Wreckers immediately. First one grabs a shield. The second one will be enough to take out. And I'm feeling pretty good now, having so much health left on my back 2 Pokemon. But after these Sucker Punches, I am going to be in Dark Pulse range. So I do try to catch it on my Dragonite. Opponent holds onto their energy. I'm going to get this Dragon Claw off. I'm only 1 Mud Slap away from my Rock Wrecker, so they are going to need to manage their energy perfectly here. Dark Pulse number 1 comes through. I'm 1 away, and they did it. I mean, I just got outplayed. Like, my opponent played that perfectly. So GG's, well played to my opponent. All right, jumping into the next battle. Dragonite into Primarina. So we expect these to be Waterfall. So we do stay in, and it is going to be Waterfall. Dragonite into Waterfall, Primarina, not that bad. They throw after only 5, I believe. Is this the one? Yeah, after only 5. So that can only be Hydro Cannon. I am going to go ahead and no-shield it. Even if it is Disarming Voice, you survive it, and you should be able to get double Superpower off. So I think just in general, you just want to play the zeros here. They're never going to shield the Superpower. Yeah, you're going to end up taking some super effective damage on Ursaluna, but as long as it's only on Ursaluna, you're fine. Because that's only single super effective. Of course, Rhyperior would take double super effective. So I am going to come in now with my Ursaluna to get that energy head start. They do throw the Hydro Cannon, we shielded it up, and they're coming out with the Xerneas. So almost always there's at least 1 fairy in the back. We saw it was only the 1 fairy in the back, and then it was Yveltal earlier. We'll see if this one's actually the triple fairy team comp. They do go for the Moonblast, knowing that one close combat would not KO. Ursaluna has some really nice bulk to it. I'm thinking they're going to want to start using shields, so I do go for the swift bait. We do grab the shield, and we reach the high horsepower. So I'm thinking this will take out from this range. It does hit very, very hard, but they do survive with just a sliver of HP. I really wanted to catch on Dragonite once I realized they were still alive, but I was just a little bit too slow there. So now I come in with Dragonite, just in case I want a superpower and dip on something, but going to be a Zacian, however you say it in the back. I'm going to get absolutely roasted this week for all the things that I don't know how to say properly. Educate me in the comments down below. I'll try to remember. I've heard it both ways, Zacian, so y'all let me know. Alright, gonna go straight for the Rock Wrecker. No reason to bait here. Of course, they're running Quick Attack, which is resisted, which is really nice. We are going to end up eating a move here. I'm expecting them to be running Wild Charge Play Rough, so it is just the Play Rough. I'm going to make sure that they're not going to catch. Very nice attempt by my opponent, but now we have the Rock Wrecker loaded, and my opponent knows it's over. So GG's, well played. Alright, what do you know? Another fairy in the lead. We're going to be swapping out of this, bringing in Ursaluna. And they're staying in, telling me they probably do have close combat. I think they build up to the double here. They actually go Play Rough. So really interesting. I think most are running Wild Charge, but I did see some that were running close combat. They're going to come out now with a Ho-Oh. And my timing is not only good, but I let an entire Incinerate come through here. So that's a shame. That might actually cost me here. But Ursaluna holds on with 1 HP right there. We're going to get this next Swift off, and this should be enough to take out. They actually do decide to no shield, and we do get Switch even after taking that Play Rough. In the back, they're going to have Rhyperior. I come in immediately with Dragonite, and then I realize, oh crap, this is Smackdown. Still, I don't think that this is enough energy for a Rock Wrecker, so I am going to go ahead and eat it. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw, thinking that maybe I could make 2 moves still. So I go for the Dragon Claw. They showed it up. I realize I'm not going to make that next Dragon Claw, so I end up coming in with my Rhyperior. And through running Smackdown, I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe they have superpower or something. I better throw up 1 shield. We are pretty confident this Zacian is running Wild Charge. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw up my second shield, expecting this to be the Play Rough. It is the Play Rough. Going to go ahead and go for the Rock Wrecker. I really just don't like to bait. Breaking Swipe is such a risky bait since it's double resisted. So the Rock Wrecker does connect, and that should just be game. We're just going to go for a fast move beat down here. And that's a GG's. Well played to my opponent. All right, into the next battle up against the Rhyperior lead. So finally, we get a fairly good lead. And then they bring out an Avalugg, and I'm like, oh, I'm triple weak to ice. Yes, I am. So that's why, yeah, I think the Hisuian Avalugg lead could be better. Because at least you'd be able to fight back a little bit better here. We have Mud Slap, which does hit for super effective here. I'm going to go ahead and see how much this Icy Wind does. It does a lot. It does a lot. And I go for the Breaking Swipe. I don't know. I thought that this would be enough to really put them in easy farm down range. And it's just not. Like, they're going to make another Icy Wind after double debuffing me. So I decided to go ahead and let Rhyperior go. And I'm thinking I can come in with Dragonite and Dragon Breath this down before they make another Icy Wind. But I'm wrong. I'm wrong. They were 1 Powder Snow ahead of where I thought they were. And so at this point, I'm just putting it all on Ursaluna. Let's see if Ursaluna can clutch this up a shield. They bring out the Xerneas. I am going to go ahead and throw up 1 Protect Shield because the Moonblast would hit very hard, and so would the Close Combat. They go for the Moonblast. And since they're staying in here, I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, they're really weak to Ursaluna. I go ahead and bait with the Swift. I realize now that they actually hard swapped here, but at the time, didn't realize that. It was late. It was late. I'm going to blame it on that. They do go for the Close Combat there. I'm not going to risk it though. I'm going for the high horsepower to ensure I get the KO here. I think Swift would have been enough, and it honestly might cost me the game. In the back, they're going to have their own Rhyperior. We could definitely tank 1 move though, and we're going to be able to reach the high horsepower. So I'm thinking as long as they don't catch, we win. They get the attack drop. It's the Shadow, so I'm like, it still takes it out. No big deal. It does not. The game literally came down to them getting that attack drop, but also if I would have gone Swift, I would have outpaced to this high horsepower. So a little bit of a throw on my part, a little bit of RNG. GG's, well played to my opponent. All right, overall, this team is all right. I was able to climb with it, and then I ended up tanking a little bit as well. I think I was slightly positive with it, but just slightly. Maybe Hisui and Avalugg in the lead. Might work. It might work. Like I said, I'm going to try out a team with regular Avalugg in the lead, and we'll see how that works. We'll see if that one ends up uploaded or not. But it also is a double ground team comp with I think a little bit of a different background. I believe. I don't know. I gotta look back and make sure. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I'm still gonna try to find a non-legendary team. So go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see what I come up with. I appreciate you all for watching. Thank you to my channel members for your support. And until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.